we can get OSPF running on frame relay. And yeah, it takes a little bit of effort to make it work on frame relay. And part of the challenge with OSPF running on frame relay is the different network types. And I don't want to cover this in all of its glory, but I want to remind you that there are a lot of different modalities to run OSPF in frame relay. The default is non-broadcast, which means you have to set up your neighborships. You literally have to say neighbor and follow that up with the IP address. Point to multipoint is my favorite way of going in a NBMA topology, because all you have to do is set it and forget it. Set it all the sides, and it treats it as a collection of point-to-point. But you can see that because things like the hello intervals change between these modes, and the fact that some use DRs and some don't, that there's a wide enough operational difference for these modes to be incompatible with each other. And so what we want to do is first get the modes set up correctly. And the key ones that I would work on would be non-broadcast and point-to-multipoint. Non-broadcast and point-to-multipoint. Let's have some fun with this. Let's go to a router, R4. And I do have, in fact, a frame relay connection. Do a show IP OSPF. No, let's do a show IP interface brief. And I've got some serial interfaces. Let's do a show run int. And I can see that I've got my frame relay configuration all set up and good to go. I don't have OSPF running, but that's fine. I want to just make sure that we get you familiar with the key players. So if I'm troubleshooting this, I want to first make sure that I know the modality that they want. That's probably either the default, which would be broadcast multi-ax, or it could be point-to-multipoint. Point-to-multipoint. And that's network point. Now, point-to-multipoint, you just set it and forget it on all the routers in the topology, and you're good to go. Now, the other command that you should be aware of is IP OSPF. Actually, no, it's done in router configuration mode. Do neighbor. You should understand that this sets a unicast neighborship. So normally we expect neighborship to be formed over the multicast IP address of 224.0.0.5. This says, nope, that's not going to be my destination address, or at least the destination address that I will also emanate will be included as unicast. So you would specify the IP addresses by which you want to neighbor across the frame relay cloud, and you do generally want all the routers to be pointed at each other, but you'll find that you can do most of the config on the hub and a hub and spoke topology. So if you're thinking, okay, I'm in a TSHOOT environment, what would be the right choice if I saw that my environment were running as NBMA, but the neighborships were not forming? The right answer would be, I want to specify unicast neighborship with the neighbor command. Instead of saying, oh, I want to completely break it apart and fix it from the ground level by maybe setting up a collection of point-to-point links or point-to-multipoint. No, your gut reaction should be keep the modality and fix it.